hands for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we...
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. The group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. The touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down, make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first.
Now a hit and Foles loses the football. It's out.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many is more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And a winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago. A 2-yard touchdown grab, and the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Let's go touchdowns, baby. Let's go.
So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because...
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there. Second down. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril. Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage. Now it's the former Texan. This is Alfred Blue. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort. And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good. And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing. Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. They defer to Brown to start the drive. Oh, and now some space to operate. That good for 22 and a first down. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run. Breaks through the contact. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A huge play there for Denver. Give him 42 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Come on, man. Let's go.
With the score, Broncos 21.
Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
X3, 218, chopper.
From the gun, it's Manning. Got a man, it's Johnson, end zone for a Denver touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there, and the Broncos will add on to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Under review.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. McManus's point after is good, and the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop A big one for him. Give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Down to hit.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2 and it get down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking up.
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. To throw is Manning. He's going to rifle one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Now McManus for the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hey, watch the ship, watch the ship.
Down to hit.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And the Denver Broncos are in for 6. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
McManus now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Set to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, and it's third and short.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
The quick slant caught. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Throwing is Manning. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's Manning to throw. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
After review of the play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Go.
Manning now on third and goal. Got a man, it's Johnson, end zone for a Bronco touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Broncos add on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now McManus for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's go, man.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And things didn't go so well, as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Derek Carr, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime?
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start. Manning. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now Manning. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone. Touchdown Broncos. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Come on, the ball. Got double time. Double time. Alert.
They begin with a run by Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Huge huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Wait.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
Let's go.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there. And he's
now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
The Jaguars on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Foles. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a throw here to his running back. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. There he goes left side. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. McManus now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Easy.
Mike 50. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Watch out.
They begin with a carry for Blue. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Again, it's Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
Be alert!
Check. Watch 54. Watch the run. They're running it.
Here's a give to Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. McManus now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air, and that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you?
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. They're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a give, right side. It's Brown. Escapes the defender. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Broncos add on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He'll drop to throw. He hits blue.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
Check 53. Yeah. You don't want none. 53's the mic.
On 1st down, it's Brown. They find some open field here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run the counter. Brown. There he goes again, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. An 18-yard touchdown run, and the Broncos continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much.
And Owen coughed it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We focus our attention now on the Broncos defense. Forced the fumble last time, up on the scoreboard, things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it again.
So let me ask you, can you be playing free and that can be good, or it can also become bad, right?
I like the way you put it. You're exactly right. It can work both ways. Sometimes you get too loose and give up big plays and not handle your responsibilities. But oftentimes when you're playing free and easy and locked in, as they are today, you see the end result.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll look to throw, and his pass incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Back to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only 1 play to score it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows?
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Good job.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. That's pulled in at the 32. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. They've gone final now out in Glendale. And give that one to the Cardinals as they wind up winners. David Johnson, 2 touchdowns on the ground to help lead the way. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They hop so, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do
pride
something.
on the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Denver, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.